A long time ago, I had to make a decision when I became a CEO. What type of CEO do I want to be? Do I want to be like these Fortune 500 guys who are super polished? Every single thing that they say is carefully scripted. It goes through a committee, and they say who's going to be offended. How do we polish this? What word resonates better with people? And every single output is so sanitized, it's vacuous of meaning, passion, or reality. And you never know who that person is. Or am I just going to be myself or something in between? And I made a decision just to be real with everybody, and you get the real Charles. And sometimes you like me, sometimes you hate me. But at the end of the day, I'm a real person. Okay, so what you see is what you get. I show you my farm life. You get to see how we do hay bales. I show you my animals. I take pictures of the food I eat, places I go, interesting people I meet. You get to put yourself in my shoes and live my life from time to time, because it's fun to share these things. That's the point of these tools, is to show you how it works behind the curtain. And we laugh a little bit, we suffer a little bit, and sometimes I do things that annoy you, sometimes I say things that annoy you. But at least you know where I stand and who I am as a person. And if that offends you, or you think that that doesn't represent the brand well, then you have to take a step back and ask yourself, what is Cardano? Is Cardano Charles Hoskinson, or is Cardano an open ecosystem? Our protocol is defined as much by you as it is me. The things we work on are all open, patent-free, royalty-free. No company has them. No organization speaks for them. No one's the guardian who shall overlook and tell you who can use it and who can't use it. It's open. Okay. So if my side of the neighborhood isn't exactly the neighborhood you want to live in or visit, that's okay. It turns out that our ecosystem is going to be so big that eventually the people that seriously dislike me, really think I'm the worst guy in the whole wide world, Mr. Narcissistic Crybaby, Trump 2.0, piece of shit, horrible human being scammer, will still be using our ecosystem because they don't represent Cardano as Charles Hoskinson. That's the definition of success for me. That's where I want to go with all of this. I'd like to have such a big tent that we have open systems that are truly open and everybody can use them. Even people who disagree with each other. Another point is turning the other cheek doesn't work anymore, guys. I mean, look at Bill Gates. Put yourself in his shoes as a human being. Bill made this colossal amount of money and woke up one day and said, I'm going to go save the world. So he spent tens of billions of dollars, built one of the largest charities in human history, and made meaningful progress and saved millions of lives. And half the internet thinks that he's a genocidal madman that wants to sterilize all of us and kill billions of people. Turning the other cheek means that you've opened up room for people to define who you are. And if all you do is just stick to the corporate sanitized speech, then people know that that's not really you. So they always ask, who is really you? It's like Mitt Romney. I know the guy. I've met him many times. And if you actually meet the real Mitt Romney, he's a brilliant businessman, is extremely analytical person, very disciplined guy, and actually has a pretty good moral compass. And then he had to invent a fake Mitt Romney to run and win the nomination in 2012. And the things he said, we all knew he didn't really believe. And so when people saw him, they say he's a completely inauthentic person. He's probably a great guy, probably a talented person, but he's totally inauthentic. So if what you're telling me and how you portray yourself is not real, it opens up a gap for somebody else to come in and define who you are. So I won't allow that gap. You know what? I am an asshole some days, and I will continue to be an asshole some days. It's not by purpose. It's just who I am. Strong of personality. It's the Italian blood in me. I'm loud and boisterous and talk way too much, and sometimes don't listen as much as I'm supposed to listen. I sometimes have very strong opinions about things, and I like those opinions to be heard. And yes, sometimes I fight for the things I believe in, even if it's inconvenient to you and even if it offends you. But I'm a real person. And I'd like, for once, for people to start being real people, especially in an age of social media and Instagram models and Facebook and all these other things. Most people aren't. They decide to carefully craft a life that they think that you want to see, and then they broadcast that, and everything's about the optics and opinions. Here's the reality. I don't really care what trolls say. I really don't. It doesn't bother me. It hadn't bothered me for a long time. What does bother me is when trolls attack the legitimacy of our project. When trolls lie and they say things that hurt our project and they convince other people that that's the case, that we've achieved nothing, we've built nothing, we're just a wallet, we're squandering ICO funds, et cetera, or they just straight up make things up, completely made up, fabricated, and they know it's a lie. I do get bothered by that because it does influence some people, unfortunately, especially when the people trolling are not just random Twitter accounts with 50 followers, but people with 100,000 followers, people who are real people in the cryptocurrency space who people write articles about. And unfortunately, those people are feedstock for quotes in the crypto media, which has not really been fair to us. And they're feedstock for a lot of thought leadership and opinion. So whenever I see that, you're damn right, I'm going to kick them in the teeth. And I don't care how hard I have to kick, I'm going to kick them until they shut the hell up, because it's not right to lie. Okay? But if they say something about me, I don't give a shit. I've never given a shit. The last few years, it's been very liberating to just let it all go. It doesn't really bother me, you know? And every now and then I'll tweet something out like, hey, I'm sharing my life at the farm with you guys. And what's the first thing I get on that? Half the tweets, you've squandered the money, or you're a scam, you're robbing grandma, things like that. So I said, you know, once and for all, just go pound sand for all of you. So you know who I am, where I stand, and you know that I actually have a pulse and I'm a real guy. Okay. So that's where this is all at. I figured I'd make a video once and for all about this, just to let you know where I am at. Yes, you're going to hear things that offend you. Yes, you're going to hear things that piss you off. Yes, you're going to see me do things from time to time that are not professional. And that's okay, because you do things that aren't professional. We all do, all being a human being. And it's better to be real, and it's better to be an actual human being and let people know where you stand and who you are, and get a relationship with the real you, than be a fake person, because then other people can define that fake person. And then you're in this constant war of maintaining an image, a constant war of maintaining a brand. And it never works in the long term. And eventually you lose and you end up like Bill Gates, where no matter what you accomplish, what you do, a meaningful percentage of the world will believe you're a genocidal monster, even though you're not, but they'll just believe it, and to the point where they go to the Italian Congress and actually say it in their parliament. Okay. So just, that's where I'm at. And again, it's a big ecosystem. The point of Cardano is that reasonable people can disagree and everybody can use it. You don't have to like me. You don't have to like IO Global. The technology stands for itself. You can use it any way you want, and you can do whatever you want with it. And as we open up, the governance opens up, we'll get a lot of diversity. And of course, you will find lots of beautifully polished people that wear beautiful suits and tell you pretty little lies. And you say, wow, look at them. Look how amazing they are. And if you want to go down that road, that's fine. If you'd like to keep it real and go down my road, that's fine too, or something else. It's your decision. Free country, free society. Free product. That's how it works. Anyway, thank you all for listening. I do appreciate it. Still going to tweet pictures of the farm. You should see the last one I just tweeted about the dog on the horse. That's a pretty good one. Picked on those poor object-oriented programmers. I'm sure a lot of the Java developers and C++ developers are all pissed at me now. And I'll every now and then keep putting my foot in my mouth. And that's okay, because we're human. Cheers.